Wojciech and Schenn back together as the top line. You look at all the Flyer combinations at the top of your screen. The Islanders move up. Nelson fires one wide net. Hamonic a shot. Redirection save. Mason. Rebound is loose. Another shot is blocked. Another pass across. Ratner could not hang on. That was Hickey. And the Flyers able to tip the puck away. Vanderbilt after, but Hickey recovers and moves it ahead to Kuhlman, who had 2 goals and an assist against the Flyers when these teams last met. Nielsen a shot blocked easily by Mason. He'll hang right on Tavares, who got knocked down. Puck bounces up. Hahn back into the corner. They center it. No one home for the Islanders, but they will keep it in. Here's Travis Hamonic dropping it back to Bailey. Bailey with a shot deflection. Save Mason. And he gathers the rebound. Says a vastly different game. Here's a turnover by the Islanders. LeCavalier with the puck. He fakes the shot. Tried to pass it and deflected back behind the net. Now he centers it out in front. Shot, shot. He scores! You can't stop Nick Schultz. You can only hope to contain him. He's got another goal. His second of the year. And the Flyers take a 1-0 lead. Schultz scores for a case of Tasty Cake.
Islanders turn this puck over. A little miscommunication for the New York Islanders on the exit out of the zone. The puck was past the blue line, but they sent it back in. That allowed Vinny LeCavalier to jump in, stayed with it. Nick Schultz alertly jumps up and buries that blast after a nice feed from LeCavalier.
Yeah, it all starts with a turnover and a really good transition by LeCavalier. Gets at the blue line, doesn't come in, guys, and you know what? Takes it right behind the net.
This is back into the Philadelphia zone. Luke Schenn is there. Moving it through to LeCavalier. Cross ice. He's got Bellemare. Bellemare, one-handed shot. Ended up back behind the Islander net. Now Bellemare has it behind the gate. Centers in front of LeCavalier. Shot! On the top line for the Islanders. Posto out. Here's Bailey. Trying to center. That's blocked off by Couturier. Now back out it goes Leddy across to Boychuk. He'll wind and fire wide on purpose. Bounces out into the blue paint, and Mason has to make a save. Giroux off the bench finds Lawton. Lawton, spinorama backhand. Didn't get much on it. Easy save for Halak. Simmons gets the puck back. Simmons trying to go cross ice. That's intercepted by Grabowski. He gets to Strome and then back to Grabowski. Knifing his way to the middle. The shot! Save Mason. So the draw to the left of Mason. There's Hamonic. Hamonic around behind the Philadelphia net. Out the other side. Centered it. Grabowski is stopped. And Mason able to cover. Couturier. Bump. Still has the puck. Back to Wayne Simmons. Simmons worked down by DeHaan. Hamonic bumped by Simmons. Once, twice. They come together again. Big hit by Lawton. And now to the neutral zone. Bailey back for Leddy. Leddy and Boychuk prepare. They were acquired right before the season started. Help solidify this team. Bailey a shot. Glove save Mason. Jeans are. That is true. You have a point. Here's Umberger. By the center, but Cizikas able to steal. The outlets Grabowski into the middle. That puck goes back out to Hamonic. Hamonic across ice. Nielsen. Nielsen tried to center. Ricochet off a couple bodies. Back out to Tavares. Across for Bailey. Bailey back to the point. Hamonic a blast. Mason the save. Vanderbilt tried to block that. Keith to Strome. And Brock Nelson looking for it. Instead, though, it's Grabowski. Out to the point. Wojciech finds Strome. They're set up again. Back across ice. Shot. Mason slides across and makes the save. Simmons unable to catch up to it. A lock out of his net to jab it away from Wayne. And Nielsen pops one up to the neutral zone. Strome. Nice pass to Grabowski. Grabowski. The shot. Oh, save Mason.
Has looked very good in the orange and black.
Playing left wing here tonight. DeHaan centered. Save rebound. And somehow Bailey denied by Mason, who's got it. He's put up the old force field.
By Mason, and finding that puck went off the skate of Luke Schenn, and then Bailey was there to jam away at it. Mason somehow kept it out.
Quick play on the doorstep. You're right. Bailey tried to elevate, and they got it. You know what? He wedged that between the glove and the pad.
That's at the top. Save percentage second best. Turnover here by Luke Schenn, and Bailey turns with it. Drops it off to Hahn. Shot save. Mason rebound. Bailey. And no, sir. He could not get it home. He's got it back. Hamonic sends it into a Philadelphia line change. It hit Reed as he was climbing over the boards. Grabner has it now. Turning on that speed, the shot save. Mason rebound in front, goes all the way out to Boychuk, who fires one that's blocked aside. What Fred Ruby was looking for, as Chris said. And LeCavalier tipping the puck. Threw across, moving on in. Vanderbilt for a shot, and the save made. So important for any athlete. Flies with a chance for a 2-on-1 here, and Vanderbilt has the puck. Bellemare joining. Vanderbilt the shot. He scores! get 5 goals in his last 7 games and 6 in his last 10. Vanderbilt scores for Case Tastekik. 2-0 Flyers.
And it's normally the speed that comes into play. Here he slows it down perfectly. Allows for the decoy to be set up by Bellemare and fires it high over the glove of Halak. Outstanding job by Vanderbilt.
Yeah, you know what I like about this goal the most is that he goes short side, guys. And a nice play here, too, by everybody else in that whole sequence jumping up in the play. But
moving down into Philadelphia's own Mason. Zotto poked it toward the boards. It bounces out in front. Luke Schenn turned it over. Quick shot, Grabowski. He scores. It turned over and was in the net in an instant. Grabowski solving Mason. And the Islanders cut the Flyers lead in half. It's 2-1.
Luke Schenn's had a couple of tough shifts here in the second period where the Islanders' quickness has caused him some problems, and this ends up in the back, and then it's a bouncing puck originally, and then once it's settled, he tried to move it on the backhand. Grabowski stole the puck and then quickly snapped it home.
Yeah, you know, it's funny when you try to make that backhand play. Sometimes you're better off just swatting it back in the corner. But there's a guy in front of you. It's amazing how many good sticks these players have now. You got a...
There's Lee. Front now. Gets Schultz after is Tavares. Gets to him, Tavares. To Lee for shot save, rebound. Tavares out the other side, tried to center, it was blocked. Brock Nelson winds up with the puck. A little testy out there. Brock Nelson again. Shot, save, Mason, rebound, they score! Clutterbuck ramming home the rebound, and just like that, the game is tied at 2.
It's a difficult shot by Brock Nelson as he fired that puck through on the side. It was a blocker side shot that the rebound just kicked right to the tape of Cal Clutterbuck. There's been a lot of action here in the last couple of minutes, and there's that tricky shot through the feet of Andrew McDonald. Mason picked it up late, and the rebound was pushed right to the stick of Clutterbuck.
Yeah, you got it. You know what? This is a classic defending situation right there, guys. Del Zotto's got to go back. He's got to be in position, but you got to get the stick. If you don't get the stick, it doesn't matter if you get the man or not.
Or a check around behind for Giroux. He's taken down by Straight. No call. Here's Schenn. Back around behind the net. Skip back to the other side of the ice. Luke Schenn. Shot save. Rebound in front. Save. And Schenn couldn't get much on it. Comes back to playing games. Absolutely. It's really a study in dedication. Giroux shot here batted away by Halak. Underway in the third period of a 2-2 game. Look out here. Grabner to the puck. This little check there by McDonald, but now Kuhlman finds the puck, waits, fires, save Mason, and he's able to keep it away from Nelson and cover up. This one for White. Play it up and out. Islanders right back on it, trying to take advantage of the Flyers as they make a change. Nielsen drops it, the quick shot by Strome, snared by Mason. And now Bailey to it, moving back. McDonald trying to get it away from him. Bailey stays with it. Josh Bailey. Back out, shot, Wojcik, save Mason. Now out the other side, Mason slides across and somehow Deacons cuts off his pass. Fanzon is clear, but White could not get at it as Clutterbuck kept him away. McDonald and Martin chase. And the puck bounce free. Cizikas centers it out in front. Clutterbuck shot. Mason the save. Sort of an uppercut. Swinging Hamonic. Hamonic went down. Del Zotto shot blocked by DeHaan. He's the shot block leader for the Islanders. And now 4-on-2 for New York. Hamonic get across the line. Winds and fires. Save Mason. And no rebound. Back out to Streit. Now Vanderbilt. Turning with it. Cross ice. Schultz. He'll take the shot. Deflection goes up over the cage. Bellemare in the corner. Bellemare back out. Streit. Back to Bellemare for the shot. Save Halak. Rebound out into the slot. Through cross ice. Tipped away from Voracek. He's got it now. Turns it in the middle. A whack at it for Del Zotto, but it's knocked away. 5 seconds remaining. Hamonic to the puck. And Hamonic will flutter one as far as McDonald. The horn sounds, no ending regulation. And here's Reed. And Reed cutting to the middle. Drawing to him. Now behind, goes to the side. Reed still has it. Gets it back out. Here's Schultz. A shot batted away by Halak. And he starts up. Nick Lenny dropping it back to Ferris. Tavares holding on, waits, and then turns it over. Couturier gets to it. John Couturier with the game on his stick. Save Halak. And then drops it back along for Strome. Send it around behind the net. Nobody home for the Islanders. 12 seconds. Couturier waited. It bounces free to Tavares in the slot. Waits, fires, save Mason. This is Cizikas and Giroux on the draw. Cizikas won it, but it hopped over Kuhlman's stick, kept in the zone. Backhander by Hickey goes out of play. And there appeared to be a little time remaining, but 4 for 7 this year. And he usually takes his time. In he goes. And he scores. He is almost automatic. Has to score. Different moves, and he scores! He is red hot in the shootout. Clutterbuck for the Islanders. Clutterbuck had a goal in the game. Scores!
Wow, it's a heck of a shot there by Clutterbuck, guys.
With the shootout goal, Couturier must score to keep the Flyers alive. Sean Couturier in. Deeks and Halak to save. The Islanders win the game. So Halak able to stop everybody but Wayne Simmons.